Every day, headlines pit Juju Watkins against Caitlin Clark, comparing their stats, their styles, their impact. Yet in an era where rivalry narratives dominate sports media, a 19-year-old Juju is showing us something different, something remarkable.
Now, there's a lot of players in the country playing Division I basketball. Nobody scored more points in one game this year than you. That's the most
That's
this season.
crazy. Yeah. More to come for sure.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark who?
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. Much respect there.
You're definitely going to want to stick one for this one because we're sharing a story of respect that's both rare and really inspiring. Let's rewind a bit and talk about how Juju Watkins got here. Juju Watkins was born in Los Angeles in 2005 and grew up with a strong love for basketball, thanks to her family's passion for the game. Her talent stood out early, and when she started at Sierra Canyon School, she quickly became one of the top high school players in the country. Juju led her team to several state championships and earned major awards like the Gatorade National Player of the Year and Naismith High School Player of the Year in 2023. She also played a key role in helping Team USA win gold at international tournaments, proving her skills on a global stage. In 2022, Juju chose to stay close to home and committed to the University of Southern California. Now a sophomore playing for the USC Trojans, Juju is turning heads with her incredible scoring average of 26.4 points per game. People are already calling her the next big thing in women's basketball, and it's not hard to see why.
She is so explosive, yet it doesn't look like it. She just looks always under control as she cans the jumper.
In just 50 collegiate games, she's scored over 1,318 points. That's an insane number, and it puts her right in line with where Clark was at this point in her career. At 6'2", Juju is a guard who can do it all. She can shoot, as you just saw from the clip. She can also drive, defend, and lead. But even with all of that, Juju stays grounded. When asked about following in Clark's footsteps, Juju always downplays the comparisons with real humility. "I wish I played like her," she told Fox News, showing her genuine admiration. As you'll find out later in this video, the relationship between these two basketball phenoms tells us something about character that box scores can't capture. To say the media is eager to create a rivalry between the two is an understatement.
If Juju was allowed to come out in the draft, Fever they will regret that they took Caitlin Clark #1. Caitlin is great.
Yeah.
He's not Juju. If they match up in a tournament, 1,000% Juju's gonna pick her up full court.
You look at the way she's built, and you look at the way Caitlin Clark is built, I mean, she can take contact. She can play through contact. She has an adult body as a 18-year-old.
She's super athletic. She will pick her up full court. They're gonna have to set a whole bunch of screens to get Juju off her. And if she ever tries to guard Juju, it's lunch meat.
Let's be real. The media loves to create rivalries. It sells. And the comparisons between Watkins and Clark are no exception. But is that fair? Rachel DeMita, a former NBA 2K host, doesn't think so. Clark elevated a non-powerhouse program, DeMita said. Watkins plays for USC, which is a storied program with a strong support system. The circumstances are not the same. Juju seems to agree. "I just do my best to be myself and play my way," she said. "I don't really think too much about the comparisons or the pressure. That calm, focused mindset is part of what makes Watkins so special. She's not trying to be the next Caitlin Clark. She's trying to be the best version of Juju Watkins." The media, however, isn't always so kind. Rivalries make for dramatic headlines, but sometimes they miss the bigger picture. This isn't about one star eclipsing another. It's about how two incredible players are making the sport better for everyone watching. But not all media narratives have been smooth. On his show, Jason Whitlock shared his controversial take, stating that discussions around Watkins and Clark often focus on race. Creating a YouTube video titled "Juju Watkins Lacks the Caitlin Clark Appeal," he says this.
Caitlin Clark's magnificent, incredible impact on the sport of women's college basketball has been reduced to, well, she's white, and all of her fans are white, and they're all racist. And that's why Caitlin Clark has taken women's college basketball by storm.
While Whitlock's comments stirred up debates, other analysts like Stephen A. Smith took a different route. On ESPN's First Take, Stephen A. Smith passionately highlighted Juju's potential.
Yo, man, we should be talking about her the way we talked about Caitlin Clark last year. Juju.
Absolutely.
Shannon Sharp echoed his sentiments, adding, I don't know if I've seen a women's college basketball player as polished as Juju Watkins. While these contrasting opinions show how polarizing the discussion can be, they also spotlight just how much attention women's basketball is commanding right now. But let's be clear, Juju doesn't see Clark as competition. She sees her as a trailblazer.
Great player, good person as well. She's been great, and I'm really excited for her at this next stage.
Not everyone has shown Clark the same level of support that Watkins has. In fact, some players in the WNBA have seemed intent on physically assaulting her on the court. Take last season, for example, during the first-round playoff series between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. Just a minute and a half into Game 1, Dejanai Carrington delivered a sharp poke to Caitlin Clark's eye. Clark immediately went down in visible pain. This wasn't just a minor incident. Carrington's hand clearly struck Clark's face, leaving her shaken.
With no whistle.
What happened next took the situation from bad to worse. Instead of showing any remorse, Carrington had the audacity to laugh about the incident. She and her teammate Marina Mabre exchanged what seemed like an inside joke, openly mocking Clark's pain. This blatant display of disrespect left a bitter taste for anyone watching. Then, only a few days later in Game 2, things turned physical again. This time, Mabre went up to block a shot but ended up hitting Clark hard in the face.
She touches the basketball. That's what Burton did there. All over Caitlin going inside.
For Clark, it was another tough blow in a series that had already seen her take some serious hits. These back-to-back incidents highlighted not only how physical the playoffs had become, but also the immense pressure Clark was under in her first postseason appearance. And it's not just on the court where Clark faces challenges. In more recent times, she's had to deal with her fair share of criticism, proving that the road to success isn't always smooth, even for a player of her caliber. Some players and fans have accused her of benefiting from media favoritism. When Time magazine named Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year, sparking heated debates across sports media, Juju once again showed her character. "I'm all for it," Watkins said. "I honestly think she deserves it. I don't think anyone has changed the trajectory of the sport so much, so I honestly think she deserves every bit of it." Juju's respect goes beyond words. She has embraced the idea that lifting others up only strengthens the game, and that's where the magic lies. The ability to celebrate someone else's greatness while striving for your own. She met Clark at the Wooden Awards, where Clark offered her phone number and said, "Whatever you need, I'm here." That's the kind of mentorship you don't see every day. Juju was blown away by Clark's generosity, saying, "She made herself available, and that meant a lot to me." The mentorship that Clark offered Juju wasn't a one-time gesture. It's part of a bigger story of mutual respect between two amazing athletes. Clark's openness shows the kind of leader she is and sets an example for others. Juju's USC coach, Lindsey Gottlieb, also saw the value of Clark's advice. In an NBC Sports interview, Gottlieb shared how she reached out to Clark for tips on helping Juju handle her growing fame.
Talk to Caitlin and say, how can I help Juju with this? I feel like it's my job to make sure that I'm using all the resources. I've tapped into my NBA people saying, okay, when you have someone, who's going to get this much attention, how do you, A, keep them safe, but B, allow them to embrace everything that's going on. So those are the resources that I've tried to use. And then it's always just keeping that relationship with her, trying to make sure she's comfortable with me to say when she needs something or when something isn't going right. But we're all looking forward to the attention and making sure that we're ready to embrace.
Looking ahead, Juju's future seems boundless. She won't be eligible for the WNBA draft until 2027, giving her time to develop her game and leave her mark on college basketball. The path ahead is clear, but Juju remains grounded in the present. "I'm enjoying every moment of this journey," she says. "There's so much more we want to accomplish here at USC." This mindset becomes even more impressive when you consider the pressure she's under. She's already starring in commercials with Joel Embiid, drawing praise from NBA legends and handling constant media attention. But perhaps what's most remarkable about Juju isn't her scoring ability or her marketability. It's how she handles the explosive growth of women's basketball and its newly passionate fan base. So many new fans being in the sport sometimes can be, not necessarily challenging, but can just kind of give you a headache a bit, Juju admits with refreshing honesty. Not a lot of people know what they're talking about sometimes, but it's great for the sport. The fact that people are watching is enough in itself. This maturity has caught the attention of basketball's biggest stars. LeBron James, through his connection with Clutch Sports, has taken a personal interest in her development. When Juju signed one of the most substantial shoe endorsement contracts in women's basketball basketball history, James took to Instagram, posting, "Gotta keep you right, Ju." LeBron's support represents how much the basketball world values Juju's journey. It's a rare moment where someone who's at the pinnacle of the sport takes time to uplift a younger player. This kind of encouragement fuels the belief that Juju isn't just a star for today, but one for the future. As women's basketball continues its meteoric rise, Juju Watkins reminds us that the most compelling stories aren't always about who's better or who's next. Sometimes they're about staying true to yourself while lifting up an entire sport in the process. Hey, remember how we talked about Dejonai Carrington and Maria making fun of Caitlin Clark after they roughed her up? Well, karma came back to bite them. Want to see what happened? Check it out here. Thanks for watching.